Welcome back to Dark Side of the Scene.
That music's so stupid. I danced.
Yeah.
You
Too bad
probably
everyone out. Too bad the
yeah.
audience can't see what's going on out there.
You can only picture it in your mind what happened.
Yeah. You hear the music, but you don't hear you don't see it.
That needs to be included.
Yeah.
So dumb. Anyway, what's new? What's new?
Yep. We live, man.
We're live.
I've already got an internet connection warning. So someone's got shitty internet somewhere. So
Not me. Well, it probably is me. I don't know.
I don't know.
No, Joey Rivers says we're live. Nice to see you, Joey. I've never met you,
Yep.
but he follows our band page a lot, so
Yeah.
I
He did the
appreciate the
same with
support.
us.
That's awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. One day I'll meet you. I feel like you have a mohawk and leather coat, even though I don't know what you look like. This is what I'm still playing the guess what they look like without meeting them game.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I have a rant because I forgot about it last week. Actually, it's not a rant. This is funny. So like, I guess I could talk about it now. But like, we were we were offered to play a biker fest, right? I've never played one ever. That is like on my basic bucket list to play a bike fest. I don't know why. I just want to see what the whole thing is. And like, uh, I just remember talking to the guy, and he's like, "How much do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know if he was legit." So I asked for like, you know, a guarantee. And then he said we were on, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, we're going with someone else," and I'm like, "What?" So I found it funny that I was like, "How did we not get denied of a biker show? Like, are we too heavy? Like, are we too heavy for bikers? Like, I guess it's not a rant. I was just curious. Like, what do bikers?
It's more of a question. Are we too heavy for bikers? What type of bikers are they nowadays that they don't like heavy music?
I don't know.
Are they the
Like,
hinder bikers? They want to listen to Honey, why you calling me so
oh God,
late?
no. That's a good one. No, hell no. I don't know, man. Because like, I feel like, I made a rant about how like all fucking people care about around here is car shows and bike shows. It's like, and they don't support the music. Well, like, look, man, I'll go into your world if you allow me to, but I don't know. I think like I have a friend who's in like um, fuck, I mean, a rockabilly band, and that seems to be popular with the bike and the car shows. But I don't know about. I mean, we're not vastly heavy. I mean, we are, but like well, you know what? Now that we have like Josh singing for us, it's a lot more extreme.
You're
But I
heavier now because you don't have the Aaron Lewis vocals and clean parts.
right,
So
and maybe they realize. Well, you know what? And we don't have any new clips of our new vocalists aside from some videos. So you would think you'd go to Spotify and be like, okay, these guys. I don't know. I just find it kind of insulting that we weren't cool enough to be on a biker fest.
yeah, I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Is that really a rant? Probably not. But it's interesting how I was kind of disappointed. I want to play one. Yeah.
I noticed that our one of our guys dropped off the bottom. I don't know where he went to. So, but
Oh, you're talking about the guests?
yeah,
I mean, if they can still come in during right? Like,
I
hello,
believe.
it's me.
Yeah, they can come back. I just don't
Yeah,
know
we'll
them.
figure it out. Yeah,
Hmm.
as long as the other one's still there.
No, he is. But no, anyone out there is still checking out Dark Side of the Scene. We appreciate you guys. I think we have one more guest scheduled for next week. Then after that, I think we're going to go back to being hit and miss. Just whenever someone wants to come on the show, we'll do an episode. But we don't have anything scheduled past next week. So
Yeah, anybody that I told, fucking let us know if you want to be on the show. If it's not cool enough, at least tell me. Tell me I
yeah.
suck. I'd like one bad negative. You suck. I don't like this show. You talk too much.
I mean, we've got negatives, but they've been unjustified negatives.
Sure. But actual real feedback.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, if you would like to be on Dark Side of the Scene, you can send an email to darksideofthescene@gmail.com because the other email address is going bye-bye here because I'm not paying $80 for it. It's not worth it.
That's a lot of
We
money.
don't make money. We're doing this show, and I'm not spending $80 just to have an email address to feel better about myself.
Yeah.
So again, it's darksideofthescene@gmail.com. Send us a message, send us an email, and I will get back to you and get something scheduled. You're not trying to smoke crack again, are you?
I'm good.
No. I say you're getting this fucking banned already.
Yeah.
Well, we can go ahead and bring in Jason and Isaac and get this show started. You wanted to give us a drum roll?
Oops, probably should have done that. But all right.
I'm sorry. I am smoking crack. Not gonna
Oh
lie.
shit, a real one. They both are.
Isaac, behave now.
Isaac and Jason.
Just remember, the whole world's watching, all 5 of them.
Shit.
Here, I've played in front of more people than that. That's for sure. So
No.
Not me. Anyway.
This is
Well-
a situation of act like you've been here before, and I feel like smoking crack is not a good idea.
Well, sure. No, I like having my teeth in gear. I'm good on that. So where are you guys from, and what band are you in?
well,
So I am originally from Ohio, but I live in Indiana right now. I've lived in Georgia for a brief period of time while I was in the Army,
Okay.
but yeah, we both from Indiana now.
Okay. And Jason, you're from Indiana? I mean, obviously, born and raised, right?
He's from
I'm originally from Tennessee, Nashville.
What the hell? So you guys just magically ended up in Fort Wayne together? Is this right?
To a degree, I moved up here January 10th of last year.
Okay.
So I've been here for a year. I moved here. Yeah, January 10th of 2023. Met Mr. Isaac here about March. We were in a really interesting group of people.
very good.
But after, I think, was it September, we decided Gore Panda was going to be the new entity. And because it was music we actually wanted to play. And and I actually know Isaac's real name, age, and background, unlike the old singer we had.
Oh, so Isaac is the singer, correct?
Yeah, he is the vocalist.
And
I'm
you're
the guitarist and primary songwriter, essentially.
Nice.
Yeah, he comes up with a lot of the stuff we come up with, and like honestly, like hell of a fucking songwriter. Like my background isn't huge in music, but like I've gotten into music recently, and it's been great meeting Jason. Like how we met is not the most ideal circumstances, but like it's been a great experience, but then again, it's been not a great experience, if that makes sense.
Sure. I mean, that's what we're here for, to talk about the not great experiences.
Yeah.
So
how much time we got this? Because we got some stories.
Well, seeing as you're not from here, I'm sure you got a lot of them. So what kind of music is Gore Panda, basically?
We like to describe ourselves as Panda Core, Fort Wayne Panda Core.
Fort Wayne Panda Core.
But like, if you want to get real technical about it, it's death metal music.
With death, what?
Yeah, if you want to get technical, like if you're a fan, like if you're into like Carcass, Cannibal Corpse, or
death metal-ish, like melodic death
metal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I'm using a 7-string guitar, just tune half step down, standard, 90s, 80s death metal type stuff. We got some other ideas in the works too, but Yeah, very different from. Well, I like back in Tennessee, I was in a band. Well, I played bass in a death metal band called Kneel Before None about 10 years ago, which this year would have been, yeah, about 10 years since all that happened.
Hell
And
I was about 14. Yeah.
like I'm the oldest in the band right now. I'm 30.
You're
So,
you're very
you know,
old.
I mean, trust me, my story is going to sound like freaking war flashbacks at this point.
Oh,
If we talk about war flashbacks, I got y'all. Like,
sweet. So, obviously, have you guys played in Fort Wayne and shit? So, I haven't heard your guys' name. So, like, because I'm from like, he disappeared. He died. Oh well, we'll figure it out.
Well, we haven't really been able to start jamming live yet because, like, right now, it's currently just me and Isaac, but we've been, I've been scouting out musicians, mainly drummers and bassists, because
God, that's the hardest one.
yeah,
I swear.
we've had a couple people, and like they've just been like they don't respond to anything. Like they'll submit stuff, and it's not like up to par.
Huh.
Like we have our whole EP done. Like we're just tracking vocals at this point. We're releasing our EP on 420, and it's just been it's just been with them. It's just been I'm trying to think of the words not to sound like a dick, but it's been they haven't really contributed anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, sorry, go on.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like, considering that I always say this, like, you have that big fucking store, and a lot of musicians work at that store. You think you could find like members?
Mhm.
You know, Fort Wayne's pretty big. I mean, you know,
I mean, we're both part of. We both, me and Jason met through another dude who met us both through the Fort Wayne or Indiana Metal Musicians group chat on Facebook.
Okay, I wonder if I've heard of that.
It's the
that's where I found this podcast. Like,
I'm sorry, that's Brandon's fault.
Fort Wayne Metal Musicians Wanted. I don't remember the exact name of it, but like we both met the dude through that. This dude was from A, and I met the other dude, and the other dude was the other dude's friend, and it's just they don't respond to group chats or anything like that. Like they'll submit stuff and it's not even the same genre we're fucking playing. Like it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
not being able to do anything in person is what it's the downfall of bands, I personally think.
Yeah, like I met up with the one dude in person. I was like, yeah, record some vocals real quick. Like I had some shit I want to record, and we just sat there and watch me stuff on YouTube for fucking 3 hours. Like, I mean, rather I'm cool with watching stuff on YouTube for 3 fucking hours, but like, when I'm trying
on your own, but on your own time, right? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, trying to get stuff done, like, it's a little awkward.
Like, I mean, this whole conversation is a dark side, just because you're trying to find members that click and that actually give a shit and not waste your time, because Lord only knows I got better things to do than fuck around.
Yeah,
I get it. Like, so.
Well, I mean, how me and Jason met in and of itself is a dark side of the music scene. Like we linked. Like how we met was through a dude from the UK who was coming to the US, who only told me he was coming to the US like the day of. He was already in Indianapolis. Like, and he was like,
exactly why
I'm here in Indianapolis. Come pick me up. And we found out a lot of stuff about this dude that I'm just like, I'm not cool with fucking having my name associated with this dude. Like, dude, like, he stayed at my house for like 2 days. I'm just like, bro, you gotta go somewhere else, because like he was flirting with my girl, he was flirting with my mom, he was talking about like wanting to fuck dead people and shit like that. Like,
So was he like was he a deserter from the UK, or like a fucking like
he was
runaway inmate?
He at least said he was from the US to begin with, but like he said he was from the US, but his mom was from the UK, and none of his story made sense to me. But I was like, but me being me, like, I was like, I'm trying to make it in music, like his music kind of sounds fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, it's cool, but like the more and more he kept talking, like I was like, bro, like you gotta, I'm not having my name associated with this. Like,
what kind of music? What kind of instrument did he play?
He played like guitar.
Oh my god, what?
Like guitar.
You lost me. Yeah, I get it.
He was an opera singer, and I was like, I mean, this is weird enough to where it works, but like you're saying all the wrong things. So I'm not trying to be in an interview 5 years down the road, and you just start talking about like pedophiles and shit like that. Like, bro, I'm not trying to associate with any of this.
That's a little weird. Yeah, that's
that was the main topic he kept trying to talk about. Just like as an MP in the Army, like, if someone keeps talking about the closet, 9 times out of 10 there's stuff in the closet they don't want you to find. So like, I'm not trying to be associated with that, because nine times out of 10 years down the road, someone's going to find some shit about you that you don't want us to find out. And then I'm screwed in the music industry. I'm screwed. Like, nobody wants to work with me and stuff like that.
No, you could always use the "I was in the Army," shtick, and be like, they'll be like, "Awesome music. Thank you for your service."
Yeah,
that isn't true. You never escape the past.
I just really don't. Me and Jason really didn't want to be associated with that.
No, I get it. So that reminds me. So like, how long were you in the Army for?
I was in 3 years.
So did you ever get like an OS? We call them those OSS shows. Did you ever like partake in one of those? What do you call those shows when they like
USO?
Yeah, you ever seen one of those?
Yeah, I worked security for them all the fucking time. I worked security for the one band, the country band, Just a Kiss. What is it called? Lady Antebellum. I worked security for that show. I met them. They were cool as fuck.
What a weird name.
They have like a big tragedy in Indy. Didn't like the stage collapse on them with like the stage.
Oh yeah, like the fucking thing.
That wasn't a USO show.
I've never heard that name in you.
That wasn't.
I keep saying like that Sabaton should play a USO show because it's only fair.
Oh God. Like Sabaton, like we all love Sabaton. They talk about like they had one of the songs literally Devil Dog in fucking.
That's what I'm saying. Like why
they should play USO shows. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. I'm tired of Five Finger Death Punch being like, oh, they play for the troops. I'm like, no man, Sabaton deserves that.
Slipknot. I met Slipknot. I met Five Finger Death Punch. I met Lady Antebellum. I'm just like, none of these really have any ties to the military. I mean, Five Finger Death Punch kinda, but like in a dad rock.
Sabaton, man. I'm just saying Sabaton.
Sabaton, like they're talking about our history here. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We need to get Sabaton on these things.
Yeah. I wanted to throw that out there.
I mean, Sabaton got to play in the Ryman Auditorium this past year too. So
yeah, I'm seeing them in like.
They got a taste of.
See, but if you like death metal and you like Sabaton, like I honestly recommend Cannon Fever.
Okay.
Like German for like cannon fire or some shit like that. But
nice.
Yeah, Cannon
But
Fire. It's German.
honestly, underground black and death metal band, love that shit. Like
Band.
shit.
I know about that stuff. But so okay, so
Love that shit.
back on the subject. So okay, I'm trying to think. It's harder with two of you. So I guess we'll start with Jason. So what
Oh,
made
God.
you move here? No, that's fine. No, what made you move here, and how is your scene back in
Well,
Tennessee?
Well, I moved here because my mother and my brother lived here.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, funny enough, my mother actually passed away back in February of last year.
Sorry to hear that.
So you're fine. It was and within in 2 weeks after that, that's when I met we're the guy that me and Isaac met through, and I met Isaac and the rest of the old band.
Mm.
And the scene in Nashville was pretty popping right before 2020 because there were a plethora of bands in Nashville going on, and all over Tennessee, really.
Yeah, I guess that was a dumb question considering. Like, well, you said Tennessee. I didn't think Nashville. I just thought some other area. But yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, Murfreesboro, Knoxville has a scene. Knoxville's where Whitechapel is from.
Right.
Yeah, and the only bands like the only bands I know for a fact are still branching out from Nashville and Tennessee in general is a band called Divisive and another band called Meditator, which I used to play guitar for. And all of them are super real cool dudes, down to earth.
Yeah.
They're more in the metalcore, deathcore area, but they also just excellent, writers, musicians, all that fun stuff. But back 10 years ago, the band I really was involved in, we ended up doing a full album and a music video. Was called Kneel Before None. I played bass for them.
Yeah.
And actually this year is actually the 10-year anniversary of the video in the album. And all that came out in September. So I got something planned just to celebrate it, really.
I was gonna say you're gonna have your reunion show or something.
If honestly, if I ever get back down to Tennessee for a weekend, I would, but okay. I might just get a hold of a 5-string bass and just do an album playthrough because I wrote all the bass parts.
Tennessee's not that far away, to be honest.
It's only 6 hours from where I'm at.
But right.
I'm used to driving 15 hours to Georgia.
Yeah, and but so far, like, there's a lot of good, like, decent bands here in Indiana, and they're all spread out. Like, there's one in Muncie called Cocaine Culture. There's Pharaohhound, Seventh Crown. The first one I discovered years before I even moved to Indiana was called Divine Martyr. They're from Indianapolis, and I've heard of them off just a search one day, and I got into them because I'm into all kinds of metal.
Yeah,
like you'll find me listen to like At the Gates, Soilwork, Mercenary, and then one day you'll. Yeah, I'm a Gothenburg Malike death metal fanboy here.
That's me. Yeah, that's me. That's right there. That's what I am. Completely.
Like I do. Yeah, I even met Henrik Anderson, the founder for Mercenary, not too long ago, actually.
Isn't Christian sing for them?
Oh?
A guy named Christian
Mercenary?
sing for them? Yeah, maybe that's a different.
No, that'll be Scar Symmetry you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Christian Alderson.
Yeah, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he was the original vocalist, but my Mercenary's from Denmark. Oliver, Denmark. But yeah, like I'm impressed with the scene here in Indiana for sure. I talk to musicians all the time.
Yeah.
And I always look on the pieces. But if the guy that me and Isaac met through.
How much time is that? how much
Sure.
time we got? Because
You got some time. You got some time. Let's hear this. Yeah.
this is a
All
long
right.
story.
Well, okay, we can skip the like first rehearsals and stuff
Okay.
up until the second
first
rehearsal where we
rehearsal,
all
the
actually
first rehearsal is
conjugated.
important. This is important.
Oh, no, okay. Well, the first rehearsal was just me, the drummer, bass player, and the keyboard player we had. And the dude was supposed to be doing it over the phone, Skype, or whatever, but we Isaac couldn't make it. This was in Indianapolis. Isaac couldn't make it for I never found out why. He's right
Yeah,
here.
it was so my old landlord, we were about to be homeless, so like I had to figure out a new fucking place to stay.
So yeah, well, see, that rehearsal went well, so that's why I was like, we can skip the good one to the more awkward and funny one because we met a new bass player in Anderson. One of the members, she actually ended up leaving before the rehearsal, really. And
Was that
what
Savannah?
happened, and that is, of all places for the crux of the issue that happened was at Applebee's. Applebee's.
My God,
boy.
Yeah. And when I'm sitting next to this guy. And when our drummer, she has a 6-year-old son, was talking about trying to find a babysitter for him.
For story purposes, we're gonna call this dude 4.
Okay.
Oh God.
Story
Yeah, 4.
purposes. For story purposes. We're not trying to air
Yeah,
people's business out here, but like for story purposes, we're gonna call this dude 4.
yeah. Well, he made. I actually do remember exactly what he said. It was just make sure you don't let any pedophiles near him or something like that, and that pretty much did it for pretty much everybody. And
like it was a shit show.
Was this
Yeah.
over like the $5 wing special? Like, hey, pedophile or whatever. I don't know. Like,
It was
said
literally
Applebee's.
the fucking all you can eat wings. Like that was what got me to Applebee's. I was like, all you can eat wings,
And
bro.
this guy just said some weird shit, and you're like, hey,
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
literally babies at the table next to us, and dude was nonstop talking about pedophiles, and it was crazy. I was like, bro, you got to shut the fuck up.
So okay, so like in all seriousness, so like when he said that weird shit, what did you guys do? Just tell him shut up, or did you fire him?
I told him in a very nice way, like, hey, we're in public, like you're talking about our band name, you're using our real names around other people. Like, I'm not chill with this. Like, I'm not chill with you talking about all this stuff. Like, none of us are chill, like, with what you're talking about. And, like, he was like, well, this is just me, so you got to deal with it. So I was like, if this is you, I'm not going to deal with it. Like,
you fired him right at the table, basically.
Basically, like, we all, like, so after all this shit went down, like, I texted each individual member of this band. I was like, hey, y'all just want to start your own band, like our own band? Because like Jason was like, fucking, I got hella music, like we can fucking make our own band. And like he was like, at any point, like we can make our own shit, like we don't need this dude. And
sounds like,
and the way things were going anyways, me and Isaac have talked about this a lot. That individual would have been ousted anyway because we were wanting to go heavier. Like I was writing songs in lower tunings, faster stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he put together a group of death metal musicians. Point blank, he put together a group of death metal musicians, and he wanted to play some shit that was only appealing like 13-year-old girls. Like
Oh,
point blank, like
Well, it's a good
Oh,
thing it all worked out in the end. You kicked him out, and he wasn't your thing. That makes sense. Okay.
like
it was.
he tried getting us into other bands. Like the band Countervail from Indianapolis. Shout out to my boys. Like they're all cool homies. Like I mean, it didn't work out between me and them because like it's a 3.5 hour drive for me to them.
I was
So,
gonna say,
like,
like, you said somebody like was from Anderson, and like, isn't that a fucking hall?
yeah, it
from
was. He had me
Are
drive
you the one
there.
that's on their EP or
Huh?
their album?
Countervail?
Yeah.
No. So they texted me like the day before. Like they were like, "Hey, we need a new screamer, and like you have less than 24 hours to learn our fucking shit." And like I showed up an audition. They liked the shit I did, and like they were like, "We'd like you," but to be honest, like from a logistical standpoint, like I wouldn't be able to make a 2-hour drive every fucking Sunday. Like you need someone from the Indianapolis area.
They
Like,
were originally contacting me for doing vocals too. This was the band Ed that wanted me to go up to Michigan and play that show with whatever. And I was like, I don't even know your material. You give me like 2 days.
Escape the Fate.
Yeah.
That show, yeah, they contacted me right before that, and I was like, I mean, I'm down, but like, I don't know any of y'all music. I haven't
That's what
heard
I
it
told them.
today. Like they gave me
Yeah.
24 hours notice, and I was like, I'm not gonna learn a whole set list in 24 hours. Like to be honest, like I'm really good at what I do, but like I showed up and like to be honest, I was just making random noises with my mouth. Like
That's all you can do in that fucking kind of case.
Yeah, they wanted me to come down on like Sunday and a Monday, I think it was, and then the show was like a couple days later. I was like, I don't have enough time for this.
It was literally, they texted me Sunday night, and there's like, yeah, auditions is tomorrow. I was like, cool. I pulled up the whole 2.5 hour drive.
I wonder what kind of I wonder what kind of miracle they were expecting out of that. Like, I don't know any vocalists that could do that. I mean,
I'm good. I'm good at making random noises with my mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I said. I would have done the same thing you did. I would have just made shit up. It wouldn't have fit with their music, but I would have made shit up and then pulled through.
I had the Spotify pulled up, like
right.
The
just mimic that.
I was like, I know the basic noises the dude makes. Like, bro, like I need more than 24 hours notice than fucking what y'all gave me. Like, I mean, they were texting me weeks after that. I was like, to be honest, like I don't wanna drive 2 hours every Sunday.
No, that's a crazy commitment too. That is a long fucking drive, and how gas is, it's like, I wouldn't be upset if somebody if they're like, man, that's a long drive. I'd be like, understandable. Maybe an hour, but like 2, it's like, oh,
this
shit.
was like September of last year, so like gas was still like $3.50 a gallon.
Right.
Like I'm just like, I need more than 24 hours.
Trying times. No, I get it.
I need more than 24 hours, and they were talking like fucking like, yeah, we need help with money to like, we need money to like play shows and shit like that. I'm just like, I don't got that. Like I'm barely making rent at this point. Like I'm trying to make it.
That does sound like a whole mess.
Like no hate to the guys. Like they got a hell of a vocalist right now, like playing for him. He's from the Indianapolis area, so I'm just like, like some dude from Fort Wayne, like that. I'm not your guy. Like I would love to be your guy. It was a great fit for me. Like no hate to them. Like it was a great fit for me. Like the songs they were playing, it was a great fit for me.
No.
But like I can't make a 2-hour drive every Sunday. Like that's just honestly what it came down to. Like I can't make the commitments you want me to make.
Sure.
And like felt weird. It felt weird going there because I was like, I know none of y'all music. I didn't hear about y'all until the day you texted me, which was the day before you wanted me to audition. So I'm just like, I mean, like, you can't really even fault me for that, which it didn't. They really didn't.
Yeah.
So like, they didn't fault me for not knowing their music. So I'm just like, I mean, like, it's no hate to them. Like, they're a great fucking band. I listen to them all my personal time because I'm just like, you know, y'all make great fucking music.
They
But
reached out to me back in June and asked me about this show, and I told them I wasn't interested in just being a fill-in. I said if I'm going to commit to something, I want to be a part of a band, not just do one show. And then I said if anything ever happens, let me know if you're looking for a full-time vocalist. And right around September,
Yeah,
like a week before the show, they messaged me, and I'm like, I don't have enough time to now go play a show. Like, you didn't give me enough notice.
exactly. They hit me up, and I was like, I mean, I'm very happy for the opportunity. I'm very happy that my name came up in that conversation.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have enough time to learn a fucking set list. Like, I really don't.
Jesus.
No, I mean,
And especially
yeah.
they wanted me to open for Escape the Fate, like, which is a
They
pretty
probably,
big
you know what?
fucking deal.
They probably did it because they were afraid to jump off the show. They didn't want
I
to lose
think they
that
had to sell
opportunity.
tickets most likely, so they already were on the hook for paying to play.
Oh,
up
fuck
in
that
Michigan. It
too.
was up in like
I was just like, I
wasn't-
mean, I'm down to do it, but like, I'm not gonna know. I'm literally gonna make random noises with my mouth
No.
and
Well-
hope for the best. Like,
Well, it's in the past, but I figured like if any band does that, don't do that because then you put stress
yeah.
on yourselves
Yeah.
and the poor guy trying to fill in.
And
Like,
again, and again, like, if I'm gonna put my name on something, like,
Sure.
I want it to be the best performance I can give.
Sure.
Like, if you're wanting me to play a whole set of songs I don't fucking know, like, no, like, no,
Right.
like, fuck no. Like,
years ago, a couple of my friends were in a band, and their vocalist did the show the night before, and then they had a show the next night. They played like on a Friday or Saturday night, then they had a show on Sunday. And the vocalist quit right after they played that night, and then they asked me to do the show the next day. I was like, I don't know your music, so we spent like a couple hours before the show to practice, and then I never really played with their drummer. And then we went and did the show. Literally, I made shit up like he was saying, just the music. And then afterwards, the drummer was like, he was out of time. He didn't have all the stuff down. Motherfucker, I didn't know your music. Like, you're lucky I even did any. I was just doing you guys a favor. I went up there and made shit up. What the hell do you expect?
Yeah,
what they
well-
told, what they told me was like, we like your highs. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I know none of your fucking music. Like, you gave me 3 songs to listen to in less than 24 hours to fucking
Right.
show.
I mean, the same can be said for filling in on guitar for a band. Like, sure, I can, if you need to fill in rhythm guitar player, cool. I can learn by ear. Unless it's like something like Arch Aspire or something like that, then
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah. But you know, if you're expecting me to perform solos exactly to the record within a week, I got bad news for you.
How fast is your average you can learn? I mean, as a guitarist, I was just curious about this.
Well, I can learn a song completely by ear within an hour,
Okay.
and that's me just trying to get.
Yeah,
you
I feel like that would be my pace, but I've never been asked to ever fill in, so I don't know if I would.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
when I played for Meditator, I was sent the tabs because there were some more complex chords, like weird chord shapes
yeah.
and stuff like that. But other than that, I just pretty much learned everything by ear. And with the old band, dude sent me 6 songs. I had them down in 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah, like
all
like
6
for
of them.
that's just like a bass player. Like usually I'd just sit down with them and show them the shit, and then like hopefully they remember by the time we get to full band practice. But that's the whole purpose of that, is just show them how to the ropes.
Yeah.
So to speak.
I mean, well, I'll tell you this right now. With Gore Panda, we're in like maybe 2 tunings, and that's only the difference between one string. Like we're in B flat standard and drop A flat on 7 string.
Okay, yeah,
In the old band, we were in 4 different tunings for no reason whatsoever.
that's a lot of guitars to bring.
Well, that's the thing. He wanted me to use a drop tune pedal. I don't use. I use an I
yeah.
use an Octavert for
Yeah.
very specific parts, but that is absolutely it. I don't like pitch shifting to different tunings because one, latency is always an issue. Two, that pedal or whatever could mess up during your set and you're screwed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like filling in for guitar is a lot different than filling in for vocals, because vocals you have to feel the music, and like with
Right.
Countertail, like I didn't feel the music.
Right.
No,
I felt like one of their songs,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
like, I can do this song, but like the other songs, like I don't really identify with.
I don't
Yeah,
really know the band, so I can't comment.
that's
on
always
any of that.
that's always a with me.
their lead guitarist, he was also
I mean,
he wrote all the songs. So like I was like, I
The
feel where
recording
you're
capabilities were phenomenal.
they were like
Huh.
it's a really good band. Like I recommend Countervail whenever anybody asks me about like
I'll have to check them out. Yeah.
local bands. Like honestly, check them out. Like they're phenomenal musicians, but like it just came down to like I can't learn your music in a week. Like
Right.
yeah,
it needs more time. If I don't write the music, like I can't just perform it and
No.
perform it with the same passion. Like
Right.
I could put on a good show, but like I can't perform it with the passion that of someone that wrote the music. Like I don't feel these lyrics the same way I would feel lyrics that so like my old band Arcade Dominion. Like shout out Arcade Dominion. I know they're in here. Like Andrew,
oh yeah,
fucking dude who taught me how to fucking be a musician.
Where are
Like
they from? Where are they from?
he's from Decatur, Indiana. It's me and Andrew Lynch. He's a cool fucking dude. Taught me how to be who I am today. Like all honesty.
very nice fella, very nice guy.
There's a
I'll
lot
talk
of
to him.
there's a lot of Decaturs around. I drove to Decatur once to sell a gig bag to a dude at a gas station.
Well, there's a Decatur. See, there's a Decatur, Tennessee, Decatur County,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
I think there's one in
Yeah.
Michigan too. Fucking Decatur.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're
Like,
just
well,
all over the fucking world. But like Decatur, Indiana.
Gotcha. No, I've been there one time. I just remember that.
Yikes. Yeah.
He put me through hell, but like it was good hell.
That's good.
Like he
It was the most comfortable
he
circle.
really, it was my first band experience. I really didn't expect him to fucking choose me. Like he saw something in me. He fucking taught me how to be a good fucking vocalist. Like, I mean, literally we're fucking sitting there fucking doing takes. I'm just like, yeah, that was fucking hard as fuck. And he's like, nah, that was shit. Fucking do it again. Like
That's always fun.
Like-
No, yeah.
I mean, I've listened to the Archaic Dominion stuff, and I like it a lot.
That's
I really
cool.
do. Yeah, and when people ask me, well, who's your vocalist? Well, we don't have any, we're still working on the EP, but I'm like, well, here's Archaic Dominion, his other project. And they're like, and these are people from back in my home state, and they're like, how old is this guy? And I'm like, well, you're 23, Isaac, right?
24
now?
He fucking
I
young
turned
pup.
24 in December.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I'm the old man of the group, being 30 and all.
Yeah.
I mean,
no hate though. Like,
I'm 21
you,
in my band.
You keep it. Jason keeps it grounded. Like I'll submit shit and he'll be like, "Hey, like, bro, you got to be better." I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, and I'm used.
Sorry. So that comes to the question. So you're not from Indiana either, correct?
Me?
Yes, Isaac. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm from Paulding, Ohio.
How did you end up in Indiana from Ohio?
So Paulding, Ohio is about like 30-40 minutes from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
So I'm adopted. So like once I joined the Army, like I lived in Georgia, I lived in Alaska for a little bit, I lived in Europe for a little bit. Like But like once I got out, like I was like, I'm gonna live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, because that's where shit's popping. Like I was like, once I got out of the army, I was like, I wanna be a part of the music scene, and Defiance and Paulding, Ohio. There's no music scene there. It's a hick town.
Do you know?
And
Do you know Ian?
Ian who?
Ian Yockner.
Uh,
He's in the band Black. He's in the band Black Order. We interviewed him last week. He's from Defiance. But yeah,
he's
he
from
says,
Defiance?
yeah, yeah, Defiance, Ohio.
How
He says,
old is he?
I think he's like 36, 7.
Okay, if he's not my age, I probably don't know him.
He's a big burly guy, but like, yeah, he says
I've probably seen him around, but like,
we lost Jason. Oh well.
Shit. Let me.
He'll be back. So, okay, so you grew up in. Oh, I guess I kind of got the idea of where you grew up. Then there's basically no scene there where you grew up at.
Yeah, it's cornfields.
That's what he said too. Like you kind of got to make your way around.
Like that's why I moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Like that's like the second biggest city in Indiana. Like I was just like, I know what I'm trying to do with my life. Like,
That makes sense. No, you go where the scene is if you're that passionate about it. I understand.
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot about people
talk about it. Shout out to my boys in Seven the Crown. Like if I wouldn't have met them, like I don't know where I'd be right now.
I think we played a show with them one time in Fort Wayne. Yeah, it was like in the last
Seven
February.
They're great dudes. Like I love all of them. Like if your listeners haven't heard of Seven the Crown, go look them up right now. Like they're great. They put out great fucking music. Like
good show.
They put on good shows too. Like fucking Chris. Like shout out my homie Chris. Like he staples himself on stage. Like I can't even say I do that.
like literally like.
Yeah, no, he takes out a whole staple gun, like puts it in his arm, and like staples it to the beat.
I'm good with that, man. But yeah, all right.
That's metal as fuck right there. Like
it reminds me of Duran Gray's vocalist. He scratched himself so hard that it starts bleeding out from the top of his head. It's crazy.
It's like Alex Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail. Like fucking beating the mic on his head until his head bleeds. Like
he's a little out there.
On beat with the drums too.
That's why we should be friends with Russia, because of that guy.
Yeah, Alex. I aspire to be Alex. Like
funny enough, like I post stuff on TikTok, and 90% of everyone who watches my stuff on there, on my personal page, they're all from Russia and love what I post.
Probably because they're like, it's John Petrucci. Oh wait, that's not John Petrucci. He looks like him. Like, oh well, I like him anyway.
Oh, I'm nowhere near like John Petrucci's like skill level, but
right.
I mean, I like the dude. I like his playing.
Look, I don't think anybody is like, he's got the book. It's a book.
I mean,
like
the second closest best soloist I've heard, I think is absolutely amazing, is Steve Vai, and he's one of my biggest inspirations.
Oh no, like he's the guy. Yeah, everybody knows him. I think he's a fucking alien, but whatever. It's how
I play a 7-string guitar.
Right.
Like he's one of the reasons why I play 7 strings. Besides, Korn and
right,
Scar Symmetry and bands like that. But
to be honest, I didn't know 7 strings existed until like I started listening to like deathcore music.
No, I mean I get it. If you don't play an instrument, correct, Isaac?
See, I used to play like acoustic guitar when I was like young,
right?
But then I started playing football and like I broke all my fucking fingers and like, I couldn't play guitar anymore.
Are you a really big guy? Because you said you'd ran like security for concerts. Are you like a really tall guy?
Yeah, I'm 6'5".
Okay,
I'm 5'3".
Okay,
But I
Okay.
was also in the army, so like my unit would just
so you're basically like
attach to it.
that. Who's that fucking singer that was Bad Wolf singer? That's what you remind me of. Tommy Vexed.
Tommy Vext.
Tommy
Yeah.
Vext, yeah.
You're like Tommy Vext, like younger
I
brother.
get compared to him a lot. I'm just like, I don't sound like him.
No, you don't sound like him, but you look like him. You're a tall guy. Like I could see him saying, "Oh yeah, I'm his brother." That's all you gotta say, you know.
See, I
Hey,
either get Tommy Vext,
I'm Isaac
or
Vext.
get Mitch Lucker, because like Mitch Lucker is tall
He's
as fuck.
He's 6 foot under. But anyway.
He's
Sorry.
6'2".
Sorry.
You're going to hell.
I'm going to hell.
Hated.
No.
See, but I don't have a big enough neck to be compared to Corpse Grinder, so you know.
Oh,
Oh
no.
God.
I'm just talking about stature. Like he's actually Corpse Grinder's kind of
Well, Peter Steele.
small.
I mean, Peter Steele was like a giant.
right.
I mean, Ed, honestly, you remind me of the what's his name? The one dude from Slayer, the
Tom
vocalist.
Araya?
Yeah, Tom Araya. Yeah.
I need to fucking color this beard.
The beard reminds.
No, it's pretty. It's fucking. I look like a homeless guy. I need
Yeah,
to
he's
fucking trim this.
he's about on the short stature side.
Like,
Tom Araya, like,
I look like Saddam Hussein when they captured him. Oh lordy.
So
Sorry.
yeah, like funny enough, because one funny story I have that's actually involving Four, as we like to call him in this.
Yeah, Four.
Yeah, like this is after I found out a lot of crap about him, and he tried hiring me to play a show. This is back in like almost over about a month and a half ago, actually. It was in Elkhart, Indiana.
Oh, I'm
That's
from
where it's
there.
I live in Union City.
What?
I live in Union City.
Where's Union City?
It's literally like Union City is on the Ohio-Indiana border. Like
Okay.
I'm like 2 blocks away from the Ohio border.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like got my front door, take a right. Yeah, there's Ohio, the desolate wasteland. But
Okay.
okay,
Oh,
well,
fuck off.
it's a 3-hour drive, and he wanted me to play the show. Well, one, there's no drummer, no bass player, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to pay me really well to play. And I $250 was what I charged him. And he wanted to use one of my songs that I wrote. And this guy had the audacity to say, well, you gave me permission. I'm like, you're not playing the song at all. And I will find out if you did. And then when he kept kind of agging on about playing the song, that's when I finally told him exactly why nobody is staying in the band with him.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I went the hell off on the son of a bitch.
Sure. No.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, this guy has the ball to block me on all the media and everything.
Where's he
And
from?
I thought, this guy, okay, he's originally from the UK.
Okay, the same guy. Okay.
Yeah, the same guy. He's originally from the UK. I know why he left the UK. I'm surprised. This, and I've actually, I will not name names, especially because some of these people were minors, are minors, for obvious reasons. And I warned them about this guy because some fella all from Ontario, Canada, told me about Four, and a lot of dots started connecting, and I was even told he's possibly speaking in a fake American accent, which I could see him do.
So he was actually British, and he had this fake.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it was very confusing because he said he was from the United States at first. He said he was from Florida, and then
fucking town.
the UK, so we all were like, "All right, cool, like whatever." But
My
like,
thing is, if there's a dude out there that's a fucking chomo, he almost needs to be put on blast. I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
So
Yeah. That
I mean,
yeah.
I'm wondering if any of the listeners here get a message from Seven.
no
And
one
Amy
listen
Angel?
no one listens to the show, so it's all right.
I mean, hey, I don't know shit, but like, if any of y'all get a message from fucking Seven,
Thorn.
don't fucking
Seven
answer.
Thorn.
I know who that is. I see his post all the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
it's just not
Yeah.
good
Is this
business.
picture kind of like this gothic-looking
Yeah.
hooded guy? Because he looks straight.
Now that
Brazil.
I see his post all the time, every time he posts one, I'm gonna call him out for being a chomo.
Like he started making jokes about my fiance's. He started making jokes about my fiance's niece, like less than 2 years old. Started making
Dude,
jokes about
I
it.
would
I
have
was
broke.
like, yo, bro, you got to shut the fuck up. Like,
I would have
stop
broke his
fucking
fucking
talking.
throat.
Like
I've
we
got
were,
kids, so I don't fuck around with that.
Yeah,
we
I'm
were
on
at
Brandon's side.
karaoke. We were at karaoke with, like, it was an all ages karaoke, and he started making jokes about the shit. Like, dude, you got to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not being associated with the shit, and that's when I stopped fucking
Plus,
talking.
all the bands he was trying to associate with after me and him had our. They were all teenagers, like under the age of 18.
Where?
And I had warned one of them, but yeah, this guy's not good news.
Hmm.
'Cause- And then
Yeah,
now,
I talked to one of my friends. I was like, "Hey, I know you're associating with him.
Yeah.
Like,
into the new year, the band page ad is gone. His, I guess his Instagram's pooped as well. And he's making damn sure I don't find out anything, which the show at Elkhart, he played, but he didn't play any original music. It was all covers
Where?
because he had
so,
no one, no band.
So where at in Elkhart was this? I'm curious now. That's my.
It was,
it was the toy drive.
Yeah, it was a toy drive. I don't remember the venue name.
I was about to go
All
to
I remember is
Was it like a? Let me look this up real quick. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm
the show
scrolling
is
to see
December
when the dude's
13th.
post was the most recent one.
Oh God. Because
I mean, as far as I know, he deleted his band page and shit like that. Because like after we all left and shit like that, he pretty much just deleted his shit.
Actually, I know why, Isaac. For everyone here, it's because a video that was made about him being the term Brandon used, chumo or whatever it was.
Chomo.
I know it's
Chomo.
Yeah. Well, it was edited from his old band, Dishonor the Dawn, to Anakoth / Seventh Thorn. And then that video has gotten put. Yeah, and that video most likely got either blocked from me or was unlisted because either something might have happened up in Canada because the guy who posted that video is from Ontario. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Was it like so? Was it the musician or Michiana Education Arts Club?
I think so. Yeah.
Like a little like DIY place. Yeah. But like I was like, where the hell would he play in Elkhart other than like this other place that doesn't do shows anymore? So interesting. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, and he expected me to drive 3 hours from. And the full disclosure here, I was trying to find out if my driver's license was still suspended or not.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still on a Tennessee driver's license, so I'm not driving 3 hours one way.
Right.
This could mean getting pulled over. I'm a bit paranoid about that. Then finding out, well, if I'm going to stay in a hotel because I don't like driving at night, blah, 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 all this stuff. Well, this is back in early December. Well, when we had our blowout, me and an ex-member another ex-member were talking, and she went through a crap ton of BS. Like, he even stole her Lacuna Coil hoodie.
Huh.
Yeah, and had the stones, the kahunas to actually wear it at this show that me and her were supposed to have played, but we dropped because lots of red flags about them were just popping up left and right. And
Talk about
then I
Savannah.
yeah, and I talked to a guy from the UK that knew him.
Yikes.
Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff came like. So that's when I got to okay. I warned the bands that he was associating with. I was about to find out who was doing the Teen Fest that was supposed to be happening this May. I was going to let them know, but before I could do it, the band, his dude's band, had already dropped, and the band page is already gone. So either something I said sparked, because I even posted the song he was trying to steal onto the band page, onto one of the groups, saying, "Yeah, can't do anything now. It's public knowledge. I've released it."
Wow. This guy's
Yeah,
this fucking dude's a real piece of work, huh? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
Oh,
I mean,
hold
I'm
on,
glad
I'm
it happened.
about to do something
I'm
here.
glad.
You guys keep
I'm glad
talking.
it happened.
gotcha.
Okay. So
But,
that's
no,
yeah.
yeah. Mr. Seven Thorn is the worst bandmate I've ever dealt with.
That's
Like even the guy back in 2019 who stole my house and got me kicked out back in Tennessee. That's a whole nother story.
Did you say he stole your house?
Yeah, he was my ex-vocalist. Funny enough, and I was living, in a nice, pretty nice little remote little house out in the middle of nowhere,
Sure.
Hickman County. And I moved him in, and this guy was like really cocky. Well, I wrote all the music in that band too.
Yeah.
Actually, some of the songs, one of the songs for Gore Panda is actually one of those songs that I just amped it up and made it. And it was after we recorded the demo that guy moves in, tells the landlord this stuff about me, like I wasn't taking care of my animals and stuff, and gets me kicked out 2 weeks later. And they even tell me that they were moving their kid in,
Okay.
which is kind of weird. They didn't tell me.
Inconsiderate, really.
Very, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
very
well,
inconsistent.
the point of me saying that is this individual me and Isaac dealt with is worse than that guy, because this guy is a potential danger and a menace to society.
To society, yeah.
Yeah, like all the stuff I found out, I'm like, it makes more sense than the lies he told us, because he couldn't keep a lie straight. Like, he would tell each and every one of us different stories when he could.
Yeah, like he told me he was younger than me, and I'm just like, cool.
He's
Like, I'm
32, and this guy told me his point. And when I found out he was actually 32, the first thing I did is I called him and I'm like, dude, don't lie to me about who you are and what your age is, dude. That's a huge red flag. You need to talk to me.
On God, like as soon as I figured out he wasn't actually 20 and he was like 30, I was like, bro, you got to get the fuck out. Like, bro, he started like flirting with my fiance. He started flirting with my mom. Like, I was like, bro, like you got to get the fuck out. Like,
I'm gonna drop us all down, so anyone that watches this video, you're gonna know exactly who this motherfucker is.
Gotcha.
What? How do you do this?
is that it?
Is he still trying to, like?
Is that
I don't
This
care
guy-
to blast out a chomo.
I'm gone. No, it has reached a point where I'm just like, I can defend a lot of shit, but like fucking like
That-
once you start bringing kids into this shit, like bro, I can't defend that.
No.
That's,
And really,
that's fucked up. There's nothing to even joke about. Anyone that even jokes about it and say they're joking about it, they're still sick fucking
Yeah,
joking
like
about it.
I make lots
Right.
of fucked up jokes. I really do.
Sure.
Like I make jokes about all kinds of shit. Like being half black, like I make jokes about racism and shit like that. Like cool, whatever. But like chomo shit, like bro, like you gotta chill. Like that isn't even fucking funny.
You're half black.
Like it's not fucking funny. Like it's really not. Like
I thought you were the
No.
kid from like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom when he burns him. The little prince. He's like, you remember what I'm talking about? The prince kid.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you look
yeah.
like.
I-
And the little short round burns him with the fucking thing. Burns him with the torch because he had like a little pincushion doll on Indy.
Yeah, see, that
That's what
shit
you
was
look
my shit as a kid. Like, I loved Indiana Jones. Like, that was the shit I watched as a kid. Like, on God. Like,
Indy goes to the left hole. Anyway,
Indy!
I mean, heck, I'm a bag of Simpsons, Family Guy, and King of the Hill references.
sure.
Oh,
Like,
Family Guy.
I tried to use the South Park one the other day. I tried to use the South Park one the other day because, like, shout out to my vocalist Josh. Like, his poor son got like, he was chopping firewood, I guess, helping his stepdad. And I go, was he one of those stepdads that make him chop firewood, like in that South Park episode? He's like, no, he wanted to do it, but he ended up cutting his
I
chin.
chopped
I don't
firewood
think
as a
Josh
kid,
got
that's
the
what I
reference,
found.
but yeah. Anyway, I had a question. I actually had a question for Jason. Now I forget. So, like, did you have a band prior? I mean, you said you had a band like 10 years ago. Did you have a band prior before moving, or you were just like,
Yeah, it was actually one of Tennessee's first death metal bands that reformed. They were called Embodiment.
okay,
The members were Michael Grimm. That's actually his real last name is Grimm.
nice.
Chris Haynes on bass. Robbie Haydes on drums, and he's the founder of another band called Doom Factor. And Michael Grimm was the guitarist and vocalist. I played lead guitar, and we were together for a good minute. What broke us up was the pandemic. Screwed up because, like, we practiced in Ardmore, Alabama, Dixon, Tennessee, and all that kind of stuff.
That was my next
then
question. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, and that the pandemic kind of screwed everything. So we're supposed to have gone on a tour down in Florida and Louisiana.
Oh.
Yeah, like no, it was like two promoters owe me about a couple $100 each. Yeah,
Yeah,
and more to the rest of the group. But yeah, well, what was your next question?
I was gonna say, like, yeah, usually we like to on this show we like to talk about like what you guys did during that old pandemic funness, because like there were so many things that happened from bands and music that some haven't recovered, and some people just straight up forgot it happened. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but like, yeah.
During the pandemic, I was doing police shit, like in the army. Like I wasn't really doing a whole lot.
Okay, I gotcha.
I wasn't. I was really into music at that point. Like,
what kept your spirits up then? Like,
I was in the army.
Right.
So like my pandemic shit is a lot different than a lot of people's pandemic shit.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I would imagine.
We were waiting for riots and shit like that. Like, they're just like, we have to be on specific side of this stuff.
For the moment, all you had to do was cough and sneeze on somebody, and then the riot would break up instantly. I mean,
oh yeah, no, if you spit on us, we were like on that shit. Like we were gonna do and shit like that. Like if you spit on us, that's assaulting a police officer.
Right. I got you.
But like I really didn't get into like music until like 2021, until I was getting out. Like I got out.
When you say that, like, what do you mean getting into music? Are you talking about getting into bands, or you just didn't like music and then you're like, I like music?
Oh, see, I loved music. Like I used to be an EDM artist. Like I have shit on SoundCloud and shit like that. Like it wasn't great, but like I didn't get into like the metal scene until like 2021, if that makes sense.
That's cool though. Like that you've embraced it later on versus like being closed-minded. I mean, that's cool.
I loved metal music up until then. Like I didn't think I could do it. And then like 2021, like Lorna Shore to the Hellfire came out, Like Slaughter to Prevail, fucking Demolisher came out. Like I was sitting there. Cannibal Corpse's what's that album called? I
Vile.
think it's
Visceration Plague.
Chaos Horrific or some shit like that.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that came out. I'm just like, shit. Like I can do this shit, and
Okay.
fucking, I got into screaming at that point, and I started learning screaming, and I was like, I can fucking do this shit. I can do this shit. Like fucking Demolisher came out. I could replicate the noises that Alex Terrible made. Will Ramos, I could replicate the noises that he made. I'm just like, I can do death metal shit, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do this shit.
Plus, you're 6 foot tall, so that's got to be kind of wild.
Huh?
I said you're 6'5", so that's got to be kind of wild too. You kind of have the presence there.
Yeah, it's a presence. Like
Yeah, right.
I sing karaoke. I do that shit at karaoke.
You just can't smile too much like you do. You don't look that scary, but I'm sure on stage you eventually will. But
And see, that's the thing that drew me to death metal.
Songs,
Is like these artists are doing the most crazy shit. Like they're fucking being the most scariest people they can be. And off stage are just like, yeah, I'm a normal fucking person. I'm just like, hey,
sure.
like,
Yeah. That makes
be
sense.
cool. Like,
Yeah, we just a little side note. We just recently got a new vocalist because we had a vocalist for a while, and he did the whole clean singing and dirty vocals. But I think in the back of my mind, I wanted just like a straight, disgusting screamer, vocalist.
yeah,
Whatever,
I get
but,
that. Like, I could sing country. I can sing fucking pop music. Like,
are you
I
gonna?
can really-
So that reminds me. Are you a clean singer and like screamer, or are you just straight?
I mean, in Gore Panda, like we do just crazy shit.
So you wouldn't like? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we got a song actually. That's on the guitar technical level. It's pretty freaking hard. Actually, it's called.
Yeah, he's gonna be putting out the craziest shit. Yeah, I'm just like, shit. I can scream.
Me and Isaac are going to do. There's one part where I'm doing backups on, like live, and I have to remember where because it's me. And I have to program that part right into my head because it makes the song more.
Singing and playing is fucking stupid hard. I don't know. I can't do it. That's just.
I tried doing that shit in like Guitar Hero, and I'm just like, I can't sing and play guitar. Like,
I can't even play Guitar Hero.
Nah, like, nah.
So back to Jason. Like, so obviously during the pandemic, your band broke up, and then like, so did yours do? Then you were just like, at one point, did you like, well, I'm gonna move to Indiana for my family, or is that what helped you move? Kind of.
Well, between 2020 and 2023, last year, right at the beginning of 2023, I lived in a nice little secluded little trailer, all by myself. So I worked on a crap ton of music. Like by the time I moved up here, I had about 30 songs done.
Yeah, no, he'd be sending me stuff in the group chat. I'm just like, where the fuck did this come from? Like,
that's cool. No, that's cool. Like, you're just one of those kind of guys.
I'm already writing music for like 2-3 songs, and then he sent me some new shit. I'm just like, shit, I got to write shit for this too. Like, it's honestly like he's been like the craziest fucking songwriter I ever fucking met. Like, he be releasing shit like every fucking 2 seconds.
That's good. That's
and good. Like I'll just text him at like 3 a.m, and he'll just text me like right fucking then, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I got a song for that." I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Like, shit. Like,
well, I see the drive is there from both of you, so that's good news that you guys can work together real well.
Like for me, it's like I've been playing 16 years, playing guitar 16 years, been writing even longer. Like even in high school, I would write guitar tabs, and with riffs I would think of in my head. and my classmates would be trying to decipher what the hell I'm even doing. Like they'll look over my shoulder.
Morse code.
Yeah.
But Morse code doesn't have 7,
Right.
8, and 5,
7
and
trills.
and also like what, like guitars have 7 strings? I thought they only had 6.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
I
when you live
really-
in such a close proximity to Nashville,
Yeah.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
you do meet musicians, but when you start introducing them to extended range instruments, lower tunings, and the combination of the both, they're like, why? I'm like, it's the sound.
That ain't country. This is Tennessee.
No, no,
Yeah.
well, hey, like one of my favorite things to do when I would visit Nashville, me and a group of friends would go. I've done this one time. I took an acoustic guitar, but instead of doing the normal busking thing, I had it tuned to B standard.
Yeah.
An acoustic tuned to B standard, and to start playing like this cowboy chord type stuff in B standard. And my friend would be like, just making up words to sing.
You might as
while
well.
it's walking.
I mean, that's what I'd be doing. Like, I just
Yeah.
Making up words. So basically, are you recording the album, like this 420 album coming out, or did you go somewhere to record this?
Yeah, on 420, our album will be coming out. Our EP.
Yes.
The EP,
EP.
I recorded. Yeah, I pretty much recorded everything at, here at my house.
What about drums?
He-
Like, do you have a drummer? Or
Drums program.
We
Okay,
had
okay, that makes sense.
we had
Yeah.
a drummer, but like he's not been very consistent in things. So like Jason's just been like making the drummer.
Dude, a drummer and a bass player are the hardest fucking things to find. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
You
not
just
sorry.
program them. You don't need them.
It's
Yeah.
so fucking hard to find like good fucking people, like who are
Yeah.
actually the shit. Like
And
it's really hard. And I
Yeah.
found that in like my
it's insane. Like bass players seem to be a mythic creature, like a unicorn, but
Little bit,
drummers
yeah.
just don't seem like some of the material we have. Honestly, a season like it's not hard to do. It's just stamina. That's
Sure.
what I've noticed as well. Like a lot of
Yeah.
drummers will complain about doing double bass all the time. I'm like, it's not that hard to do. And plus, live. Here's the thing: I'm not the type of guy to be wanting to play everything exactly to the record. If
Sure.
a drummer kind of wants to go off the cuff a little bit, if that's easier for them, go for it. Same
Right.
thing with the bass player. You know,
Yeah.
for the guitar, I mean, you know, for leads and stuff, I don't care if it's not exactly to the record because, you know, it's a live setting. Some things happen where you're like, oh, I'm like, oops, I forgot that one note. I'm like, I'll just make it work. Yeah, I'm not
that's
going to be
where I'm
mad.
at. As long as it sounds good live, like I mean, like I don't really care what y'all do.
Yeah, and especially if the people watching don't, if they're having a good time, then that's all I care about. Really.
I sound a lot better live. I sound better when I'm engaged in the crowd.
Oh
Yeah,
I
yeah.
we're
sound
live.
better. I sound better when there's females in the audience.
Oh, I mean,
According to my fiance, we're not going to talk about that part.
Yeah.
no,
What's funny-
I tell you,
What's that? No, we played in like Fort Wayne not too long ago, and like it was at the Stands Room, and it was like it was a cool show. It was-
I honestly might have been at the show.
You've never been there? What the
No, I
hell?
might have been at the show. Like, what band you play for?
Beyond the Fathoms. It was
I've
like,
heard that.
it was like a,
I've heard that name before.
I'm sorry, but no, it was it was a tribute show with like original bands, and it was at first because we were opening, like everybody was in the other room at the Nirvana. I think it was.
I never
Nirvana.
understood why they had like tribute bands playing with.
It kind of
original
works
bands.
though. It kind of works because how they were doing it is like.
See,
one band
I know the
starts-
guys in the. I know the dudes in the System of a Down tribute. I know them. They're all
Okay.
cool. Dudes.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
fill-in bass player was like helping us with sound, and then he
I'm
went on stage to play.
pretty sure I know which band you're talking about. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
they
like
call toxicity.
it was cool though because one band would play and then the other band would play neck after them. Like it was trade off, and I'm like, after
Yeah.
since when we opened, there was nobody there until the other band ended, and then all the people streamed in there. Oh my god, I felt better, and then I saw girls, and I played better. But that's got nothing to do with anything. I'm just saying. That's the last. That's the last place we played. We're supposed to come back and play in like what is that? New Haven, Little Carl's Tavern.
Haven, yeah, right outside of Fort Wayne.
Yeah, that's so weird because it's literally right outside of Fort Wayne. I'm like, that's so
Yeah.
weird. One
New
turn.
Haven is basically Fort Wayne light.
That's what I'm saying. That it's like the diet.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne. Yeah, I've
But-
only been to Fort Wayne once, so
You said what?
yeah, I've only been to Fort Wayne one time.
So you don't live there? I keep
I live
thinking
in
you do.
Utah.
Yeah, that's
I
what you
live
said.
I live in Fort Wayne, but like it's like country Fort Wayne, if that makes
Country
sense.
Fort Wayne.
It's
you know-
Banjo.
Wayne.
Plains.
Oh, shout out Wayndale.
I was just in Fort Wayne like 3 days ago.
She.
Well, sometimes
yeah.
I go.
Sweetwater.
Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes I go to the store.
Okay, Sweetwater's like the opposite side of town for me.
Yeah.
See,
No, I drove up there just to pick up a couple cables and came back.
Yeah.
I love just hanging out at Sweetwater because like you meet cool people there.
I think
Well,
it's
you-
fucking stupid that you can't just buy something in the store. You have to go down to the drive to their warehouse for them to come out and bring it to you. It's like, I just need cables. Why can't I grab them here? Like, why can't I buy
Yeah.
the things in the store?
They don't have a
I didn't understand a whole lot of people's gripes of Sweetwater until I started getting into music. And like I was like, yeah, why can't I just buy this without talking to like 3 different fucking people? Like, bro, like I'm just trying to get a DJ
I mean, what he was
To be
saying.
honest,
cable. Like,
if I do need cables, I order from the company that makes the cable usually, like Hog
Yeah.
Cable or Happy Cables or whatever.
Uh,
That's what I
just-
usually do.
I'll just go down there and play with shit I can't afford, and then like go home and go, okay, I'm
Yeah.
glad I didn't. Yeah, so that's just me though. And
I
like,
go down there and play with the guitars. I'm just like, I have no idea how these guitars work. This is way out my price range, but I'm
That's
just go
funny.
down there and play with it. Like, fuck it.
but like, yeah, like I'll make a trip down there and just buy some small thing. But like, it's fun to go in that store and not buy anything. I know a few people that work there, but like, it's
See,
fun.
but the people that work there get mad at me because like I go down there and like fuck with the mics and shit like that, and like I'm there screaming and shit like that, and like they don't like that.
No, I'd be like, you're scaring the kids. Stop.
Like they're just like you're scaring you're scaring the normies away. Like stop that shit. I'm just like, bro.
I've
like,
never been into
I'm
that
just-
store where there hasn't been someone
doing
on
music,
guitar
like-
playing some sort of old rock and roll
For
music.
Metallica.
That's guitar.
Not Metallica.
Like-
It's like some sort of like 70s rock. I don't know. I
Yeah.
hear the song. I recognize the tune, but I don't know who it is.
See, but I
always-
like doing Metallica, but like with screaming.
So
Yeah.
you said you've never been to Pierre's, right, Isaac?
Oh, I've been to Pierre's multiple fucking times.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you hadn't. I think
No,
you-
no, I've been to Pierre's.
Okay, yeah.
You
okay.
said Stan's room, so they probably didn't realize that was Pierre's.
Like the little.
Oh no,
small-
I knew. Okay, Stan's room is pretty much Bobby McGee's, which
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
bar that-
basically, yeah.
technically
Yeah.
Stan's room, but like Bobby McGee's.
Bobby McGee's is back fucking room. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what we played.
I sing karaoke at Bobby McGee's pretty much every fucking week. Like
Yeah,
my fiance's stepdad runs karaoke at Bobby McGee's, and like
Nice. Nice.
I sing there all the fucking time. And I'll be doing like death metal shit there, and like nobody really understands what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just like, I mean,
They're
I'm
probably
keep-
drunk already, you know. But oh yeah.
yeah.
I had I had another question. So is there any other crazy nightmare stories you had, or that one guy's like that guy kind of takes the cake now that we mentioned that?
Yeah, that guy really takes the fucking cake. I mean, the only really nightmare story I have is like Andrew, but like my old band Archaic Dominion, like I mean, that's really not a nightmare story. Like, I mean, that made me who I am today as a vocalist.
Well, that's a positive thing though, like how
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah, that's more like a positive We're not going to be
Yeah,
all negative
yeah.
here, but like, yeah, that's
I
a good
mean,
thing.
I got a funny story that's a nightmare.
Sure.
This takes place in Huntsville, Alabama, at a place called Coppertop Bar.
Alabama.
20 years old. I was 20 years old. And the bar, the guy at the door was checking everybody's ID.
Right.
He somehow didn't check mine. And before, this is back when I was in Kneel Before None, the death metal band I played bass in.
Yeah.
There's these kids. There's a group of these guys from the rich side of Huntsville. Rich kids. It's a biker bar of all places.
Yeah.
They start a fight in the bar while I'm getting all my stuff set up, my bass rig. Me and the bass player for another band were sharing my David Eden cab, and we hear this yelling, like super loud fighting. I look, I'm like, oh God. And then the cops come 5 minutes later. I'm like, shit. They're probably gonna ID my ass. And it's game over. So we're like, okay. So I'll go out to the balcony, don't even look at him. My guitar player is filming himself making up this rap thing right in front of the cops, the Huntsville City cops. I'm just like, Jake, don't draw any attention to me here. I'm not old enough to be here. Yeah, typical, you won't get caught type thing.
I feel like you should have just held your deer the whole time they were fighting. Be like, I'm just in the band, and then they probably wouldn't have bothered you. I would think.
Yeah, honestly, like,
again,
I
this
get
is
it
all
though. Yeah, you're young, and you're like, I should not be.
What got the cops to get their attention off of us was
Sure.
my guitar player bought the last 2 black colored T-shirts we had and gave it to the cops.
There you go. Thanks for your part.
my mom used to sneak me into like bars when I was like in the army, but like they're just like, yeah, we're not gonna ID them because like they know my mom.
So I have
I went up to one of the bartenders after that and was just like, hey, like you denied me a multiple fucking times before I was 21. And she's like, really? Like if you would have just come up with your mom, like fucking like we would have let you in. Like
to be that young again.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a question for Jason. So like you obviously you play bass and guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But so, Jason plays everything.
Sure, but like my thing is like, and I know me and Brandon brought this up before. Like if a band needed a bassist, you're not too what's the word? You're not too good to like say, well, fuck that. I'd rather. You don't have that pride to like fucking, be like, but I'm a guitarist mostly. I ain't playing bass, or you just don't care. How do you feel about that? Like
I just don't care. I mean. Like how I joined Kneel Before None was I was at a local show.
Yeah.
And I was watching this younger band play. And it was at this like little coffee house, but it was like a suspicious coffee house run by a nice Jamaican fella. And so they come to the show and they come up to me asking, hey, do you want to play bass? And they knew I could play guitar. So they figured I'd just use those skill sets on bass. I was like, okay, sure. And I come to practice the next day and I meet the other guitar player who joins at the same time. I was 19 then, and I was like, he was like, hey, you want a beer? I'm like, I'm not 21. I didn't ask if you were 21. I said, asked if you wanted a beer. I was like, I was like, fuck it. And I learned the song. I learned the set right there and then just by watching the main song, the guitarist. And pretty much the album was starting to have been written then and there, because as we added more songs, I just kept writing my own parts, and like they were even impressed by the fact that I can do like tap on bass, which is one of my favorite things to do, is just do tapping on bass or tapping in general. But I never felt like being a bassist. Here's the thing. I think because of, their stringed instruments, neck, do you have a neck, fretboard, all that kind of stuff. I don't view them as the same thing, but you can play them however you want. Literally, there's no rule set. Like you can play, you can play just to the root notes, or you can play just like the guitar players do. Like an Archispire, their bass player plays literally everything their guitar players do.
That guy's an asshole. I'll just tell you that.
Oh God. Dean
So good.
Dean Lamb, like Dean Lamb writes 90% of the Archispire material.
Yeah,
I
he's
know
crazy.
for a fact.
They're all
And those Canadians are something else. But
Right.
like I'm just like I've never had a negative thing to say about bass players, because there's the bass players who don't really know what exactly the music is doing, and then there's bass players who really know what the music is doing.
Yeah.
Like that's why I always like having a 5-string bass, because I'm like, oh, I can play in this key, or hey, I could be funny, like on with Kneel Before None. There's parts on the album that are 2 octaves below the guitars because I tuned it to like a drop G tuning, but like the main tuning was drop C, but the low string was to a G, like a super low G. So I'll be doing tapping parts on the on the G, on the super low strings. And the very first song on the album, full song called The Gemini, kicks off with that string going dun dun dun, like super low. And the bass player that came in after me was like, "How do you play this stuff?" And I'm like, "You have to have a 5-string bass. I'm sorry, you have to have a 5-string bass." But I told him the advice: keep playing the way you want to. Don't try to stretch yourself out by learning my stuff. Figure it out, because I told him 90% of a chance by the end of the year, back in 2014, 2015, they're not going to want to play these songs anymore, because they had just opened up for Suffocation, legendary band, Frank Mullen,
Yep.
Frank Mullen's a nice guy, by the way. I actually got to meet him, and he is
Nice.
5'3".
Nice.
Yes. And and I'm like, and because they're wanting to write more technical stuff with 7 strings and stuff like that. They're still writing, by the way. They're still together. They just, they're all parents, family. They all have families and stuff, and understandably, that'll take up time. I've somehow dodged the family man bullet here. No kids, no wife. I'm married to my guitars. I mean,
it's all right. It's all right.
This is Gaia. She's been sweet to me for 5 years.
Is that a rower?
Huh?
Is that a rower? Rower?
This is an Agile Legacy 7-string.
Oh, okay, it looked like the body looked like a rower. I can't fucking pronounce the fucking brand.
Oh, it's fine. It's an Agile 7-string. I bought this in 2018, and this guitar has never let me down. This guitar and that guitar is on all the Gore Pendant material.
Yep.
We're gonna be nerds. This thing's behind me.
Oh, is that a JP?
Yeah, that's a Jason Richardson thing. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might sell it, but anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean,
anyway.
I've met Jason Richardson back in like 2010 when he was in Born of Osiris.
He's
nice dude.
Taller than I thought.
Him and Lee from Born of Osiris, they're almost Isaac's height.
Yeah, they're tall guys. I'm like, oh, I don't know why I thought Born of Osiris people were small people. I met the drummer; he was tall.
I don't gotta call him out like that.
I have a funny story about the drummer, but we won't talk about that. I talk about it in another podcast, meeting him drunk.
Very good.
Yeah, but
I think we're getting to the point where we can start to wrap this up. I don't want to go on for 2 hours. I want to dick around with it for editing purposes.
Understood.
Hell yeah.
But
I would say if you guys had some finished music, you can send it to me and I'll throw it on the end of the episode once it gets put out on the podcast. But if you
we're gonna release our EP on 420 this year. We have we're basically just wrapping up the vocals at this point. We got stuff on our TikTok and our Facebook.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, if you had anything that was already out there, I'd throw it on the end of the episode. But if you don't have anything, then I'm just going to release it.
I mean, if y'all looking for stuff with, like, my vocals on it, like, look up Archaic Dominion. Shout out to my boy Andrew.
And if you want anything with my playing on it, I have
Saint
material under the
Oh, yeah.
name Saint Lucia.
Nice.
That's my solo project. I just write instrumental stuff, and I'm like, this sounds good. I'll just show it there off to everybody in the world.
What was it again? You kind of cut out.
Saint Lucia.
St. Lucia.
Yeah, like SAINT LUCIA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah,
guys,
Gore
been,
Panda is going to be coming out 420.
Yeah, Gore
Oh, yeah.
Panda. Look out for Gore Panda's album at 420. That's funny.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have like a before we go? Are you gonna have like a 420 release show, like a live
Oh,
stream or
yeah.
something in the theme of it?
Oh fuck yeah! Like it's gonna
Fuck
be it's gonna be meme related. Like we got stripper pandas, like people who wear panda heads and like bikinis and shit. Like fucking
Yeah.
we got it all. Like
I might
it's gonna be a wild.
There you go. Just wear that.
Yeah.
Like
All
it's
right,
gonna
fellas.
be fucking.
Well, hell yeah,
It's gonna be a
guys.
wild time. Like crazy shit.
What he said.
Right. Yeah. Well, guys, appreciate you being on here tonight talking with Ed and I.
Actually,
sure.
don't leave when we
Yeah.
that's-
You guys hang out here for a second.
once
Hell
I want to
yeah.
go check out Gore Panda on 420.
Hell yeah. Like we're